Welcome to the Online Entrepreneur Experience podcast that details the ins and outs, the how-tos, and the ups and downs of living a life of an online business owner.
What is going on? Welcome to another amazing episode of the Online Entrepreneur Experience. This is the man, the myth, the legend, Renee Deuces. We're also going to do some WWE wrestling tonight. Maybe some WWE. No, just joking. We're virtual. We can't do that type of stuff. Anyways, I am the Viking marketer. We're going to be coming at you with some amazing information here. It is going to blow your mind and give you a different perspective, really, on what it is to take the next level in life, or really come to some big time realizations that will help you feel really, really good in life. And I know a lot of people struggle with this, and some people have hardship or never felt this. So we're going to help you guys also get to these breakthroughs. But before we get into that, Renee has a message for you guys. What should they be doing?
They need to be liking this video, writing a review if you're listening, and making sure you're hitting the bell notification so you don't miss any of these amazing videos that we put out.
And that was your public announcement for this episode.
I hope that's what you meant.
That's exactly what I meant. I know I threw you for a loop, but I figured you'd roll with it again, man. You're quick on your feet. So.
Awesome.
Anyways, guys, what we're going to talk about today is breakthroughs. Okay, I don't know, you may not call a breakthrough. It could be like a paradigm shift. It could be an epiphany. It could just be like an aha moment. It has so many different shapes and sizes and different meanings to it. But I think they're just so monumental. And I know since Renee and me have got closer and closer, I think both of us have had tons of breakthroughs on different levels and for different things. And they're an amazing feeling. When you do that, honestly, it feels like you're just like almost like a new man, or in some of your guys' cases, a new woman. You just feel this refreshing rush of endorphins, because you're just like, wow, this is amazing. And sometimes they're the simplest things, sometimes the most momentous things, and every single time you can't force them. And I think that is one of the biggest things with breakthroughs or aha moments or any of those type of things. A lot of times we try to force those things. Let's just say that you're trying to work on a project, and you just can't get that project to work. And a lot of times you just have to take a step away, come back to it, and then it will come to you. And I remember my wife and me were in counseling, and I'll get a little bit deep with you guys here. And my wife was kind of stuck on a few different mindset things, and she got frustrated, and it was just one of those insecurities that came up. And it's like, why wasn't I getting these breakthroughs before? Why am I not getting a breakthrough? Why are these things not happening to me? I want to have this breakthrough, and I wasn't getting them before. And that's really that's not fair to me. And the problem is a lot of times you have to get yourself in the right mental state, or align yourself with the right people or the right surroundings to be able to have a breakthrough. Because you could be like, I'm ready for my breakthrough, bitches. I'm ready to hit this next level in life. But it's just not your time, because you haven't prepared yourself for the breakthrough. You know what I mean, Kit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can give you an example of one of those moments. Ironically, it's with my wife as well. Back in June, she started her own business. It started out as a side gig for her, and she branched out, quit her job, and was doing it full time. At that time, it wasn't her side hustle anymore. It was her full-time hustle. And it wasn't until about 3 weeks ago where she had the breakthrough and realized it's not a side hustle anymore. This is a business. And when she had that breakthrough, she was super emotional. And like what Mark said, it's nothing forced. She did not force this breakthrough. It's just something triggered in her mind, and then boom, waterworks. She was just overwhelmed with the emotion that she had that breakthrough, and now she actually owns a legitimate business, and we're currently looking for her first employee. So that is one form of breakthrough. It's kind of like an aha moment. I knew she had a business, but she didn't. And that's that's just the difference in the types of breakthroughs that you can have. Have you ever
100%, man. And
experienced-
it's so amazing that she's been able to do that. Like, I'm so pumped for her to be able to have that, right? Like, I think that's just so amazing. And when you know you have these kind of breakthroughs, it's just like you said, it's just like, you're like, I've known for a long time that she's had a business, not a side hustle. And it's just like one of those things you can tell her until you're blue in the face, but that doesn't matter. Like, it's up to yourself to come to these realizations, up to yourself to like actually do it. I was having a conversation with one of my buddies that was in a bad relationship, and it didn't matter if I told my buddy that he was in a bad relationship, like these things, like, I don't even know who you are right now, like you're being super weird and everything like that. He had to come to the realization himself, because it's not like I'm breaking up with a girl. He had to break up with a girl. Like, it's those kind of things. Like, it's those things that you have to be able to come to a realization on yourself, and you have to be able to come to your own self, pushing yourself up there, because nobody else is ever gonna, like, say, motivate you. No one else is gonna be able to get you to have this perspective. You have to understand the perspective and then take on it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And when you're going through these pivotal moments in your life that we are calling breakthroughs right now, it's typically right after bad information comes. It's when you're in a dip in your life. That is what I believe is called the law of advancement. It's just like when you're about to take off on a plane, you feel that dip as right before you're about to take off. So if you are in a position right now and you are trying, you are pushing, and you feel like you're hitting a brick wall, just keep going. Your breakthrough is coming, and your aha moment will reveal itself, and then you'll level up to the next level. And that's what these breakthroughs do. They shoot you up to the next level.
100%. And generally it's because you have to get in proximity with certain people or certain information, and you have to just get a new perspective. And a lot of times it's somebody that maybe you don't know, like, super, super well, because like it's I've told many people, hey, you need to do these things. You need to do these things. You need to do these things. If unless you do these things, you're not going to make that. You're not going to get the success you want. And then all of a sudden, they hear somebody else's voice say it a different way and a different perspective, and then they're like, I totally get what Mark was saying all this time. Boom, light bulb, and now we're going forward. And it's one of those things. If you try to force somebody else, you're going to push them in the wrong direction. So one, if you are somebody that's looking for somebody else to get that breakthrough because you know that they can achieve something, never force feed it, because you're actually going to do them a disservice. But give them the information that possibly can get them there. You know what I mean? It's just like presenting them with different opportunities like that can help that. It's just like, if you have to market your business, and it's just like, hey, this would be a great way to do that. Like, you can go do that. And then boom, it just takes off, because it's like, okay, cool. Well, I'll try it out this time. And it's like, okay, makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, it's a great way of putting it, is how you cannot just keep pushing someone into their own breakthrough. You can keep going at it till you're blue in the face, like you just said. And I immediately, as soon as you were saying that, I was thinking about my wife and not her breakthrough that she had already, but if there's something that I'm trying to get her to do, whether it's a different way of disciplining her kids or whatever it is, I can push and push and push and push until I'm blue in the face. But as soon as one of her friends says the exact same thing, that's when she'll have her breakthrough and go forward. And an example of that is my son. He is in kindergarten this year. I wanted him to go into French immersion because Renee, I am French. And I went to French immersion my whole life. So I wanted my son to go through the same thing. I was trying to get my wife to be okay with that, but it wasn't until her cousin said, yeah, that's a good idea. Well, now he's in French immersion. Nothing I did because I couldn't push her past. It was her idea.
And I think that's a lot of the times that it has to go that way, right? Like, and that's why I'm such a big advocate of going to counseling and all those kind of things, right? Because your significant other or your mom or your dad or any of those kind of sources that are kind of your go-tos, like, they can tell you these things. Maybe it's a best friend. They can tell you these things, but sometimes you just need to hear it from somebody else. And that's why, like, counselors and all that kind of stuff are so huge for that, because you can just have a discussion, and sometimes that's when those breakthroughs happen, because you get this unbiased opinion. They're like, oh, they're saying this, and they're saying it probably in a different authoritative way, where it's no benefit to themselves, it's just a benefit to you. So it's in a more conducive way to having those epiphanies. And sometimes, guys, like, you don't even know why you're not having the breakthrough, and sometimes it could be something back from like your childhood, or something else that's preventing you from having the success, or having that breakthrough, or having that happiness go on in your life. And you have to get through that sometimes to even like go any further. And I mean, working with people with business, the number one thing is mindset. And it's just like, if you're not at the level where you can even like take in money, because a lot of people actually have a really, really bad mindset towards money, even though you don't even know it, just because like maybe your uncle when you were younger said like, oh, like money is the root of all evil, and then now you have like a relationship with money that it's evil, when it's 1000% not. It's just like, I've met wealthy people, I've met poor people. I'm going to tell you that poor people are a lot more unhappy because of money than wealthy people are. And that's just how it is. So anybody that kind of has that relationship with money, they can put that onto other people. And because of that reason, you could, reject money. And until you can have that breakthrough with that, until you hear that information that really helps you get through that. Like one of my buddies was reading a money book, and it was all about like giving you a different mindset of money. And he had a really bad mindset of money, because his mom was just like, she hated on money his whole childhood and everything like that. And him just reading this book, even though I had said different things to him, he just reading this book, like he had like, it was like aha moment after aha moment after aha moment. And since he read the book, like he's made a tremendous amount more money, and he's utilized his money in a tremendous amount better way because of it. He used to waste all of his money and never have it. He used tons of debt. And then now he's been able to pull himself out of debt and being able to like grow his wealth massively because of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm glad you brought it back to the business side of things, because I was actually going to go there myself, because like we were saying before, sometimes it just takes someone saying the same thing, but in a different way, or just with more authoritative tone. That's why it's important when you are running your own business to not just follow one person's advice and that's it, and that's Bible. Follow a couple different people. Like me, I listen to Gary Vee, Alex Hormozi. Can't remember her name right now, so obviously I don't listen to her that much. Mark knows her. Anyway,
Rachel Hollis, I'm guessing you're talking about.
Yeah. So having a different perspective from different areas, and it really helps you reach those breakthroughs a lot faster.
Can I just like add one thing in there? I know I'm interrupting, and that's super rude, so I don't apologize at all.
I'm used to it.
But like one of the things is just like with that is like, don't go looking at like your neighbor for that advice if they're in an area for like a thing that they have no business giving you advice on. You're not going to level up. You're going to de-level. You're going to de-level to their level instead of going in the right direction. And I find that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't have those breakthroughs and don't have those aha moments, because all of a sudden they're getting this negative information that goes away from your aha moment, because you're getting the misinformation. I was listening to a video earlier today. I forget who was saying it, but they put it perfectly. I wish I remember the exact way that they said that information, but it's just misinformation. Like, don't go to somebody that doesn't have like authority in the area for your advice. Like, if you don't know the people that have authority in the area, just do exactly what Renee was saying. Just listen to people that are millionaires. Like, you should be taking the advice from people that are millionaires and billionaires, not people that are struggling. If you're trying to like improve your business, improve your life, your financial state, all those kind of things. Don't take like Sally's advice if she's an unhappy person herself and you're trying to be happy. You're like, I'm trying to find ways to get happier, but yet Sally's really unhappy, but I'm going to go to her to ask her how she gets happy. It's just like, that's the total wrong person. Go to the Joe that you barely know that like sings every single day as you watch it on the street. Like, that sounds like a badass dude to ask the advice for. He's always happy. Go ask him like what makes him tick, right? Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I'm going to butcher this quote, but Robert Kiyosaki said it in his very first book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Don't take advice from a financial advisor who has a bus pass.
I like that.
Something along those lines. And on the other side, just because you have a Mercedes doesn't mean you're wealthy.
No.
There's a lot of people who drive their Mercedes to the job that they hate.
It's so funny, man. Like my old chiropractor, he used to say that all the time. He lived in North Vancouver, and he also like helped, like he worked on like the Real Housewives of Vancouver and those kind of things. And you'd have neighbors that like would hang out their Maserati key out their like pant pocket and stuff like that. But then like you go out for like lunch with them, and he's like, "Yeah, I can't pay for lunch. You gotta hit this one up. Couldn't afford it." You walk in their house, there's no furniture in their house and stuff like that. It's just like it's all just for the persona, right?
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, a lot of people will do that. I don't know if it's to make them look like the leader so that people will come to them for advice, or why they do that, but I don't know. I don't get
insecurities, bro. That's where it all comes down to.
Yeah.
It's just their own insecurities that I haven't been able to deal with, and that's the only way that they can feel good about themselves. And I mean, that's a shame, but they have to have some aha moments within happiness and abundance in their life, because there's so many better ways of being able to get that, right?
Yeah, exactly. They need their own little breakthrough.
100%, my man. 100%. But
Right on.
yeah, I mean, in the end, guys, all we're saying is, if you're at a place that you're unhappy with, or there's something that you want to work towards, the best way to like have that breakthrough of, like, let's just say that you've been working on a business for a year and you wanted to make 5 figures, but you're making like $1,000 a month. And you're like, I don't know how to 10X this bitch. I've been struggling at $1,000 for a while. You know what? Like, just continue to surround yourself with like things like this podcast and other like resources that are going to give you that perspective. And all of a sudden, you'll hear the right perspective on the right day at the right moment, and your life will change forever. And then all of a sudden, now you're a 5-figure earner in your business, and you get to quit your job, you get to hire employees, all that kind of stuff, just like Renee's wife is doing. So I mean, like those are the things that will happen for you in life. You just have to surround yourself, be in the proximity of the positive things that are going to take you in that positive direction.
So that's another great reason to hit that bell notification.
Yeah, I love it, bro.
Those breakthroughs.
Love it. But anyways, guys, that is it for the week. Next week, Renee is going to hit you guys with a doozy. We're not sure what it is yet, but it's going to be a doozy. Maybe it will even be a Mike Tyson KO puncher. Anyways, we hope you had fun today. We hope you got a lot of information. Hopefully, you're closer to the breakthrough that you've been looking for. Renee, was there anything else that you wanted to say before we let these beautiful people go?
Just please leave a comment and make sure you leave a review. We'd be forever grateful if you did.
It's the best thing you could do for us. It would give us breakthroughs, baby.
Yes, help us break through.
Yeah, love it. Anyways, guys, we will see you on the next week's episode. Take care.
See you guys.
Thanks for tuning into the Online Entrepreneur Experience. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes that we're releasing and any of these amazing pieces of value that we're giving out. And if you could take the time out of your day and leave us a review, we'd be so grateful. We look forward to seeing you on that next episode.